China condemned US Vice President J.D. Vance as ignorant and impolite after he referred to Washington borrowing money from Chinese peasants. China's position on China-US economic and trade relations has been made very clear. Foreign Ministry spokesman Lin Jian said it is surprising and sad to hear such ignorant and impolite words from this vice president. He added, speaking to Fox News on April 3rd, Vance defended those tariffs as an antidote to a globalist economy, which he said had not worked for ordinary Americans. We borrow money from Chinese peasants to buy the things those Chinese peasants manufacture, J.D. Vance told Fox News. That is not a recipe for economic prosperity. It's not a recipe for low prices, and it's not a recipe for good jobs in the United States of America. J.D. Vance to Fox News. Trump believes the tariffs will revive America's lost manufacturing base by forcing foreign companies to relocate to the United States rather than making goods abroad. If you look at that China first row, China 67%, that's tariffs charged to the USA, including currency manipulation and trade barriers. So 67%, I think you can, for the most part, see it, those with good eyes with bad eyes. We didn't want to bring, it's very windy out here, we didn't want to bring out the big charts because it had no chance of standing. Fortunately, we came armed with a little smaller chart, so it's 67%, so we're going to be charging a discounted reciprocal tariff of 34%, I think. In other words, they charge us, we charge them less. So how can anybody be upset? They will be. Because we never charge anybody anything. But now we're going to charge European Union. They're very tough, very, very tough traders. You think of European Union, very friendly. They rip us off. It's so sad to see. It's so pathetic. 39%, we're going to charge them 20%. So we're charging them essentially half Vietnam. Great negotiators, great people. They like me, I like them. Problem is they charge us 90%. We're going to charge them 46% tariff Taiwan, where they took all of our computer chips and semiconductors. We used to be the king, right? We were everything. We had all of it. Now we have almost none of it, except the biggest company is coming in. We're going to end up with almost 40%. Lee Zeldin's working to get their approvals. And it's an amazing company, Mr. Wei, of one of the great companies of the world, actually. They're coming in from Taiwan and they're going to build one of the biggest plants in the world, maybe the biggest for that. But 64%, we're going to charge them 32%. Japan, very, very tough. Great people. And again, I don't blame the people for doing it. I think they're very smart in doing it. I blame the people that sat right at that Oval Office, right over there, right behind the Resolute desk, or whichever desk they chose. Japan, 46%. They would charge us 46% and much higher for certain items like cars. Little items like cars. 46% were charging them. 24%. India, very, very tough. Very, very tough. The Prime Minister just left and he's a great friend of mine, but they said, you're a friend of mine, but you'll not be treating us right. They charged us 52%. You have to understand, we charged them almost nothing for years and years and decades. And it was only 7 years ago when I came in, we started with China charged them. We took in hundreds of billions of dollars from China in tariffs. And they understood. Honestly, President Xi understood. He said, look, I understand, and the other countries, and they all understand we're going to have to go through a little tough love maybe, but they all understand they're ripping us off, and they understood. Prime Minister of Japan, Shinzo Abe. He was a fantastic man. He was unfortunately taken from us, assassination. But I went to him and I said, Shinzo, we have to do something. A trade is not fair. He said, I know that. And he was a great gentleman. He was a fantastic man. But he understood immediately what I was talking about. I said, Shinzo, we have to do something. He said, I know that. And we worked out a deal. And it would have been a much better deal. But frankly, there were many years left in the deal that was made previous to my getting there. But it was something, if you look at Switzerland, 61% to 31%, Indonesia, Malaysia, Cambodia. Oh, look at Cambodia. 97%. We're going to bring it down to 49%. They made a fortune with the United States of America. United Kingdom 10%, and we'll go 10%. So we'll do the same thing. South Africa, 60%, 30%. And they've got some bad things going on in South Africa. We're paying them billions of dollars, and we cut the funding because a lot of bad things are happening in South Africa. The fake news ought to be looking at it. They don't want to report it. Brazil 10%. Bangladesh is 74%. So you see what's going on. Pakistan 58%. Sri Lanka 88%. So what we're doing is we're taking not the full, we could take the full 88%. Thanks a lot. Here are just a short list of some of the companies that have already announced and committed to investment. And this is a company that built its factories and its plants in China. Apple is going to spend $500 billion. They never spent money like that here. They're going to build their plants here. SoftBank, OpenAI, and Oracle. Great companies are investing $500 billion almost immediately. Nvidia, a hot company, is investing hundreds of billions of dollars. They just announced TSMC, the biggest, most important company in the world of chips from Taiwan, with no investment from us, is investing $200 billion. And they said the reason was, number one, the election of November 5th, and number two, the tariffs. They don't want to pay the tariffs, and the way they're not paying it is to build their plan here. So we're going to go from almost no percentage. We used to have 100% of the chip market. Now it's all in Taiwan. Almost all of it's in Taiwan, a couple of other countries, but mostly in Taiwan. We had 100%. We lost it because of people in that office that didn't do their job. They allowed it to be stolen from us. Johnson & Johnson, great company, $55 billion. Eli Lilly, $27 billion. Meta is investing $500 billion. Wow is investing $20 billion. CGM, $20, $20 billion. And then you have Merck and Clarios, Stellantis, General Motors, GE, Aerospace, Honda, Nissan, Hyundai are all putting in billions and billions of dollars, and they're committed 100%. So, and we've never had, and this is after 2.5 months. This is after just a short, this all took place as soon as we came out with what everybody wanted to do. You know, I watched a gentleman today on television, used to work with Leak, a very respected automobile person. And he said, you know, because they're asking people, they try and get as many negative people they can, but they can't find them too much. It's pretty hard to find terms of what we're doing, especially when they see all this investment. They said, so, tell me, what do you think of what Trump is doing from the automobile standpoint? He said, I can't believe it. Somebody is finally, he's an older guy, real pro. Really top guy with layer. He said, I never thought I'd see the day when this would happen, where somebody had the courage to go and do what has to be done. This is transforming our nation. Our entire nation is going to be transformed, not only with the cars, but on every single other item that's built. We're going to become an industrial powerhouse.